Nuclear thermal propulsion systems aren't new, but they could significantly reduce travel times and carry greater payloads than today's top chemical rockets, giving humans a great chance of exploring deep space. NASA wants to send astronauts to Mars, and they could do it with nuclear-powered rocket engines with the help of SpaceX and its new Starship. Watch as we look at Elon Musk's new nuclear thermal rockets that could take humans to Mars. SpaceX is all set to fly the first orbital test of the Starship this year. It expects to launch a dozen or more rockets throughout 2022. During a virtual session with members at the National Academy of Science, Musk said the chances of success for the first test flight into low Earth orbit are relatively low, but multiple orbital test flights are about to occur this year, with the first flight scheduled for February. Now, we've talked about the Starship in previous videos about how powerful it is and how it can carry tons of cargo and people into space at an incredibly low cost. Also, as part of NASA's Artemis program, Space Exploration Technologies Corp plans on using a modified version of the Starship vehicle to land astronauts on the moon as early as 2025 or later. Additionally, SpaceX plans to send hundreds of tons of suppliers and people to Mars as part of CEO Elon Musk's grand plans to start a colony on the red planet. But Starship has been launched several times by SpaceX at an altitude of 10 kilometers from the company's assembly site in South Texas. The flight plan for the orbital flight is that the company will circle the Earth once and then ditch the spacecraft into the Pacific Ocean about 60 miles off the coast of Hawaii. During an over an hour-long speech, Musk stressed that humanity needs a second planet due to the numerous risks facing Earth, such as nuclear war, climate change, and more. And to get us to our new destination where we're supposed to start a new colony, we need a powerful rocket, preferably nuclear-powered. And to make the Starship nuclear-powered, there is no need to rethink the design. In fact, it is going to be the same 15-meter steel tube that launches on top of the super heavy booster and uses vacuum-optimized engines that are fueled by large propellant tanks together with a small set of gimbaled engines optimized for landing, along with flaps that allow it to reach Earth's atmosphere. And it is estimated that the final version of the rocket will be 30 tons dry mass and about 30 tons of propellant, which will be reserved for landing. But we just can't go and bolt nuclear rockets to the Starship and expect everything to work. In order to accommodate the new propulsion system, new modifications need to be made. These include new attachment points as well as changes to the software. However, the most important one is radiation shielding, and it seems like Musk enjoys defending technologies which aren't even sure of being feasible or not. Anyway, as a result of SpaceX's recent partnership with companies such as Atomo Space and Interstellar Technologies, the company has reached new heights in recent years. They've made great developments in designing and engineering ideas and then hiring contractors to build them. SpaceX is consulting with these companies throughout the entire process, and everyone knows that Musk's ultimate goal is to colonize Mars as soon as possible, preferably before the end of this decade. Before, it is hard to imagine a feasible way to transport people to another planet without nuclear propulsion or some other technology that greatly shortens the journey until it becomes feasible. As of late, one important move being made is the involvement of the private sector, who are trying to create atomic rockets for future plans to allow for Mars landings in the future. The idea, while it may sound simple, is going to work. A small atomic reactor will be completely securely enclosed, so the main way for energy to escape would be by a channel, and by splitting uranium, neutrons set off a chain reaction. Hydrogen propellant moving along the channel is then disintegrated in enormous amounts. In this way, the push is done. It's a bit like a coordinated atomic weapon response, but with a limiter. SpaceX has previously explained how nuclear propulsion technology can let them send humans to Mars faster than if they used chemical rockets. As Musk says, nuclear propulsion systems use propellants much more efficiently than chemical rockets but provide a lower amount of thrust. He also added nuclear propulsion systems accelerate spacecraft for extended periods and can propel a Mars mission for a fraction of the propellant of high-thrust systems. If SpaceX wants to teach Mars soon, time is of the essence, and if the US is not kidding about driving in a human mission to Mars, we have no ideal opportunity to lose. And with the use of nuclear-powered spacecraft, if we can reach Mars within a short frame of time, it's going to go a long way in helping us to quickly colonize the red planet and set up base on a planet other than our own for the first time in history. That's all we have for you in this video. Thanks for watching!